VG's going to be able to catch you up.
Well, there's no disables at all. Like, you have, I guess, Vortex from Storm, but that's a marginal disable at best. And the Storm also has to put himself in harm's way to be able to do that. And Storm is a hero who is seen as very slippery in team fights. You don't ever want to really be still unless you know you're going to be going for a kill. And I think we saw the matchup, like you mentioned, in the Na'Vi versus Secret match just a little while ago. It depends on which hero has more farm. Like, if the Storm is ahead of the AM, it's really a nightmare for AM to deal with it. And it's not like Secret's draft, where they had things like Naga Siren Song, and they also had Dazzle, I believe, to back him up. He's kind of just relying on a Lion and maybe like a Snowball. That's not really as good mechanism to save the AM if he's in a bad situation, whereas Secret had a multitude of ways to defend him. Now it's going to be, if he's off on his own and the Storm has a good start, you could potentially see the AM get picked off a few times. Now, if the AM gets ahead, then the Storm runs into issues. As you mentioned, the Mana Void can be a huge nuisance for you. You might even want to pick up things like Lincoln sometime into the game, especially against the immediate disable coming out from Lion and, of course, for Mana Void. But Evil Geniuses, they're going to get their hands on the Winter Wyvern, a hero that is, I'm kind of surprised has made it this far.
I was going to say, with just the Undying and then the Wyvern,
yeah,
it's EG have managed to get themselves some real beauties kind of at the end of this draft. And all in all, it's going to be interesting to see what Vici pick up now in response with their final pick. We are, of course, well, expecting to still look for that second support if we are going to imagine that Lesh will be played in that core position in the mid lane. But we'll see what VG do decide to opt for here now. Taking down to the final 10 seconds of their picking phase. Let's have a look what they opt for here. And it's going to be the Lina. It's going to be their final pickup. And of course, will be the anti-mage. It's going to be Super Leshrac. So it's going to be the support Lina this game.
Yeah, we've seen it a handful of times. I think IG played it earlier, then Complexity played it after that, and now we're going to be seeing it handled by Vici Gaming. So I'm looking forward to seeing how EG's lanes kind of roll out. I'm looking at it on paper, and I'm thinking, like, Undying, Winter Wyvern, if it ends up being a dual lane against Vici, those supports are going to have to be babysitting Hao like 24/7. There's no way he's going to be able to farm like that. I guess you could also just send the Bounty Hunter around and just leave the Winter Wyvern in the bottom lane to help out Fear, just in case. Like, an aggressive lane could potentially come out here from Vici. It depends on how much they want to emphasize shutting down the gyro in the early game. Like, if they want to put Ice 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 plus like 2 stuns down there, the Snowball can very easily get you a kill.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I kind of feel this game is going to be about the progression of the AM and the Storm Spirit. Who can get that edge and keep themselves on top, because it's going to be very hard to bring it round the other way. Bounty Hunter, of course, going to be very nice here for EG in the sense that they will be able to keep checking out how that AM is progressing and try and do the best that they can to disrupt his jungle as well. We are, of course, going to see Ice 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 TPing straight down here to the bottom lane to get some early ward down into the Radiant jungle. But EG versus Vici, game 1 about to kick off. Big shout out to anyone joining us over from the mainstream now on the various platforms that we are covering this game on today. This should be a good one. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be sticking around and interested in this one between two of the highest seeded teams here in the International 2015 to see how it exactly goes down. So, EG at the moment heading towards the top rune. I'm not seeing any kind of 5-man movement at the moment from Vici. They're kind of spread up around the map. So if anything, EG should certainly look to try and secure themselves this top rune here.
Their level 1 is also very strong. When you have Gyrocopter and you have Arctic Burn, all you have to do is hit him once with the slow, and you can just kind of walk into him, and a Rocket Barrage or 2 will probably secure a first blood. I think Vici are well aware of this. You can see their positioning. They're not really all in for the top rune at all. They assume that EG are most likely going to be there, so what's likely to happen is they'll just trade top bounty rune for bottom bounty rune, and then most likely the heroes will just run mid and then start their farm off. But I think the Lesh versus Storm matchup definitely favors Lesh, but I'm not sure how much emphasis EG are going to be putting on this middle lane. Like, how much is Aoi going to sit here and try to be a nuisance to Super? And if he does, is that going to be enough to get Sumail off for the start that he needs to stay ahead of this AM?
It's going to be interesting to see indeed where Aoi kind of rotates around and looks to prioritise in terms of securing a lane for his team. Super's going to grab himself the bottom rune, and Sumail will find himself the top bounty rune here, so both of them is getting an even start up here in the mid lane, with the respective supports getting the blocks off as well for them. And we'll see indeed how this matchup goes down already. We can see Aoi there just getting the intel here on this bounty hunter. What exactly is going down, and already they're playing it very safe there with the curry on the side of VG. They do not want their curry getting sniped.
Yeah, the salve is very important for both heroes. If for whatever reason you lose your regen in a 1v1 matchup, you can all of a sudden just straight up lose the lane. Because one hero realizes, oh, you don't have any regen, I just harass you a bit, and then it's very, very easy to do that. We're going to see some tango trading here in mid, just going for those sentries. And Aoi actually came to lane with 2, whereas there was only 1 down there from Super, but I think FY is going to come in and make sure that that sentry is going to be killed. And I believe that was both of them? Yeah, so Aoi's out of sentries now, which means that if he wants to camp that middle lane, then it's not going to be that useful.
We actually saw at the bottom there as well, iSoSoS making a very nice play in terms of blocking up the creeps. He's managed to get the momentum there for himself and Fenrir very close to the tower. So he's going to have a very nice start here to this dual off lane that they've got going on at the moment. Aoi, of course, sitting up top here with the Undying. It's dual lanes coming out from both sides pretty much for the time being. Lion just in the jungle at the moment, gaining some control. So Fear in this situation, how is he going to be able to farm here?
I think it's not too bad for him. The one nice thing is you're always going to have Cold Embrace to fall back on once the Winter Wyvern hits level 2 or 3. I'm not sure if he's going to go Splinter Blast at 2. I feel like the damage might be enough to secure a kill, but I think in that situation you're probably just trading, and I think Vici would be happy to trade with this lane. So I figure that he's probably just going to go Cold Embrace and then play it defensive. There's no reason to go super aggro if you're EG right now. You just want to make sure that Fear gets like level 6 or 7, start carrying your TP, look for potentially counter ganks, and maybe even Sumail rotates bottom eventually when he gets enough farm and some treads to make a kill happen.
And in mid lane as well, how's the farm going between the two? Pretty even at the moment. Sumail is going to get caught out by the stun here. He's just trading some hits with Super. Super goes in for this though. Aoi is there. They do have the sentry down and Super's well aware of this. Sumail gets himself back up to the high ground. Will bottle himself back up. Looking for the 2-minute rune here as well. Looks like, yeah, Aoi's going to be able to secure that for Sumail. He's going to be able to grab himself a regen rune. Very, very tasty there for the Storm.
That's insanely helpful for him, like not having to go back to base, not having to bottle pro. Bottom lane, gonna see some damage being dealt here to Fenrir.
Yeah, a good old burn there, doing a fair bit to Fenrir indeed. Fear just popping out the Rocket Barrage there, forcing iSoSoS back as well, but now iSoSoS wants going in with the snowball. Light Tracker is going to catch it, but the Cold Embrace coming out from PPD. Fear's going to be saved here for the time being, and the power of the Wyvern there being shown.
Yeah, that's why the Cold Embrace at level 2 is so important. He was holding a skill point until the initiation came out, so as soon as he sees a snowball, he's like, oh, I'm gonna need this to make sure that Fear doesn't just die. But you can see the magical damage output from these two heroes, like Fenrir and iSoSoS. It's not enough to actually kill if the gyro is at a decent threshold, so having that Cold Embrace pretty much just ensures that Vici will never be able to go full out aggressive without getting punished.
Which is not ideal for Vici, because you bring a Tusk and Alina to the lane, and that's exactly what you're going to be looking for. Aoi here, just looking to disrupt FY's going-ons here in the jungle. And he's going to get a couple of hits in as well, forcing Lion back, and already Aoi doing a fair bit of damage here to Lion, bringing him down to half health. This is not a fun time here for FY. Aoi just eyeing him up here, keeping him behind the tree line. But all in all, still 3.5 minutes in, no one to fall yet. Both sides, it's going fairly even really across the lanes. You look at both the position one, it's a slight lead here for, of course, the Anti-Mace, 13 for 3. Fear at the moment 10 for 0. Having a bit of a tougher time on this safe lane. But other than that, pretty even. Arctic Bird coming out, they're going to chase iSoSoS down, but now he goes for the snowball, trying to turn this. PPG's there, trading hits onto Fenrir. Fear moving forward here. Fenrir is getting incredibly low. They're trying to fight with a Splinter Blast, they will. PPD claims first blood, bringing down Fenrir. The TP from FY though, they're trying to turn it, but PPD, the player, with the Cold Embrace, keeping Fear alive. Fear's going to be alright. PPD gets himself out as well, and what a play there from the duo.
And their supports just do no damage. Like, even Lina having a double nuke and Tusk having a double nuke, Snowball only hits for 120 damage. It's not that good, and Ice Shard's level 2 is 140, so you're looking at potentially, what, 260 damage from, like, one hero? It's not enough to burst. Like, they need more levels, so once Alina hits 6, if the Tusk hits 6, it's going to be enough to maybe kill, but up until that point, like, PPD, all he has to do is one Cold Embrace, and they're just back in fighting shape, like, right then and there. So the rotation from Lion comes in, and FY, with a level 1 stun, it's 80 damage. There's just not enough damage unless all the supports are in the same region to really secure a kill.
Indeed, and we're seeing a couple of the supports rotate towards the mid lane now. We've got Aoi hanging around with Sumail, just helping him to secure the runes. FY making those long walk back towards potentially the top lane, but Sumail actually with this invis as well. They're moving in, but the sentries down around the mid lane is going to make it very hard for EG to catch VG off guard here in FY. He's well aware of Aoi coming in on this one, and I think Aoi realizes as well, just keeping his distance away from the Lion. Ping's coming out.
They saw the sentry die.
Yeah, they saw it die. Are they going to be able to do anything off the back of this? I'm sure FY will still be on high alert. They've got the backup of Fenrir as well. Aoi moving in onto Super. Still very, very tentative here. Super looking for a stun, just cancelling it here now as well. Moving forward, but just trading the spells here. Nothing going to come of it too much in the mid lane. We do know that iSoSoS is on his own here now on the bottom lane, and that Fear and PPD are going to start to move in. PPD at least forcing iSoSoS back with the burn, and the flat cannon hits as well. Pushing iSoSoS back behind his tower.
If you look at the way that Vici are moving around the map right now, they're playing as they know that there's no vision of the high ground right now from EG, but that freshly placed ward in middle lane is going to be scouting out both the supports right now, so Fenrir and FY are pretty much just wasting time. Like, because of the fact that Sumail is 6, even if a lightning connects, it's not going to be enough to get a kill. And the fact that Sumail is sitting on top of the CS right now in this 1v1 matchup, he's doing more than expected in the situation, even with the supports rotating over. And now, I think Vici finally realized that if our supports are separated, they're just not as potent, and they need to be together, and they're looking to try to gank bottom.
Indeed, and the question is, how cocky has Fear got? Because he's known that he's been safe in the lane earlier, but now indeed with FY and Fenrir coming in, he could be in a lot of trouble. Ice going in with the snowball. There's your Hex from FY. They'll be able to bring down Fear. Where's your PPD now? No cold embrace for the Jara as he falls, and PPD is probably going to head back down there, stick around him next time, because without the Wyvern, he's very susceptible to being ganked.
Yeah, it was a little bit of miscommunication, I think. PPD went for the rune, and then Fear is just kind of sitting there out in the open, right?
So, oh, how? Needs to be careful with the Soul Rip, bringing him incredibly low. Couldn't quite find the range there for the Shuriken toss, and How just blinking himself away. Very scared
indeed,
indeed, rightfully so.
He's fine.
He's got to spend a bit of time out of lane. I'll tell you that. No regen on him at the moment. Was very close to being able to get a ring of help. Bottom lane, we've seen a bit of action going in with the slow on Ice now. Here's just Snowball onto Fear. They're trying to turn it here with the help of Fenrir, but again, the cold embrace. Fear says, he doesn't even care about the magical dab because he's back up to 2/3 of his health. Having a grand old time and very happy, I'm sure, that PPD is now back in the lane holding his hand.
Yeah, without the Winter Wyvern here, it's too easy to get counter kills. Like, all you have to do is snowball in. One person TPs like the Lion, or maybe even just the two heroes can kill him if they're not around. I think they want to go
down here. Ice straight away with the snowball that they do at the backup of the Bounty Hunter. Again, the cold embrace means they can't kill Fear. Fenrir's going to lose his life here. Ice just going to look for the simple TP out. They've actually rotated Super down here, but he's unable to find anything. And again, it's another kill here for EG. And Vici just getting caught off guard and getting outplayed.
I want to say he just punched into Cold Embrace. And obviously, like, Tusk Punch is physical damage, so I don't know. That was a little bit weird. I'm surprised they played that greedy. Like, they really just wanted to kill the Gyrocopter that much, and they just go all in on it. It definitely did not pay off.
And look at these stacks in the jungle already. Sumail clearing the one on the right. PPD ready to stack this one yet again. This Storm Spirit beginning to looking very scary. I mean, you look at the fact that he was up against this Lesh at the beginning in lane. Sumail didn't care. He still had a final time, keeping himself even in terms of CS top lane. They're going in on Universe. He's all left alone. How Fenrir and FY trying to do it. They're just going to throw out the stun here and leave it. The Tombstone has been dropped and they don't want to fight into it by the looks of it, and they will back up. Bottom lane by the room. What's going on here? Looks like a bit of action here. Going on to Ice. They'll be able to get that. That's one kill there for Sumail. Aui's there as well. Super trying to do what he can here, and he might be able to turn this in. No, he's getting low. I think they're going to be able to kill him. Yes, they will. Sumail will live on 45 HP. They get the Lesh. They get the Tusk. And Sumail is going to be A-OK, TPing himself back to base just in the nick of time.
That was the manliest thing I think I've ever seen. Going in, putting yourself completely out of mana. Like, all he had to do was ball to dodge the stun, but he balled like point blank with the DD and said, yeah, okay, whatever, just use all your abilities, it's fine. I'm still going to kill you. By the way, we mentioned Universe a little bit earlier when he was getting ganked. Can we please address the fact that he has 45 CS?
Wow.
Like, he's sitting up there.
The second highest on the board.
He's sitting up there against Hao. I mean, Hao's still farming alright, like he's 32 and 10. But we just saw 3 heroes try to gank Universe, and they could not engage on him. Like, they had to run away. And this is what I was mentioning during the beginning of the game, is their supports just aren't strong enough to deal with that hero. They don't deal the damage they need to quickly enough, and EG are just abusing them for it.
Absolutely, 4-1 the net worth. It's still pretty even across the board. Sumail, of course, with that lead, coming up to 4K. Nearly about 1,000 ahead of Super's Leshrac. To 9.5 minutes in. They have the supports here towards the mid lane. FY and Ice, in fact. Just seeing if they can help Super out. Super's going to back up, and they're going to look for a smoke here, the side of VG. See if they can catch anyone out. They're making lines. It's actually lines being drawn here by Universe towards the rune. And the question is, are they going to try and contend this one? VG actually moving straight towards the top lane. It's all going to be about whether Universe comes away from his tower here. He's playing it pretty safe. He's got to be careful there. If they can find the initiation with the snowball, Universe is in a lot of trouble. But he is level 7, he's got a buckler. Let's see if he can turn this one. They're going to go straight in. I don't think he's going to get a chance to. They're bringing him down. TPs will come out. It's a little bit too late. Universe now with the cooldown. It is going to catch 4. Fear, he's not going to chase this one down. Aui moving in, but Sumail says, we're doing this, boys. Goes straight in with the ball lightning. Onto FY, there's your Shuriken. They bring down the line. Super trying to turn this around with the lightning storm. Now the tracks are coming out. Fear moving around with the rocket barrage. Ice with the snowball, turning onto Fear. The lightning as well. How's there as well with the Roar's punch. They bring down Fear. It's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Aui gets himself out of there. Sumail as well. And as impressive as Sumail's ballsiness was, it does cost them the Fear Gyro, and they're only able to find a Lion.
It was almost a nice turnaround. Like, after they go all in like that, I think it would have been fine to just say, okay, you just, like, 3-man smoked for an offlane Undying. Like, who cares? we throw the call down, it stops the push. That's all that matters. Like, just preventing the tower from taking damage, I think EG would have been more than content with just not losing any damage on that. But they try to go a little bit too greedy, get punished for it. I'm pretty sure that PPD wasn't able to be there. Yeah, he didn't have a TP, so if, for instance, he was there, they might have been able to turn it in a bigger way. But because of that, like you mentioned, they lose the gyro. Not really the most effective trade, but the important thing to take away from it is that Aoi hit 6. So now we got track available.
Indeed, now... sorry, Fenrir and High Size here going for a smoke up. This time towards the bottom. They might wrap around towards mid, but there are 4 members of EG all in very close proximity to themselves. In fact, they're looking for a bit of a smoke action themselves. Things coming out towards the Dire jungle. At the moment, only on that side of the map is Hao, but Hao's going to be a big kill if they can bring down this anti-mage. The rotation from VG not going to find anything themselves. They've come down to the bottom lane. There's no one there at the moment. Now back towards the mid. They have spotted out Super alone, and they're going to go in here with the slow. There's going to be a TP coming in from Touch, but it might not be in time. Sumail straight in, Winter's Curse as well. Super's dead. Here comes Ice with the snowball, but it's drilled down to the river. Aoi's there as well with Sumail. Maybe they can find Ice Fear with the rat round. Coming in with the rocket barrage. They're going for this one. Ice getting light. They'll be able to take him down as well. He's going to fall. Ao jumped in, trying to find Sumail. Sumail walking himself back up to the high ground. Fear's there. Caught in the river at the moment. It's a bit of a mess. Aoi wrapping around, getting the tracks out onto the side of VG. And VG, 2 heroes down, EG this time losing absolutely no one. And these are the kind of skirmishes that you've got to be very careful about losing, because as you said, Aoi with the track available, the net worth difference is just going to get bigger and bigger, and we are starting to see Sumail climb away now at the top of the board.
There's just so much havoc being created right now by EG. They're not content to just sit around and let Hao farm. Like, Hao actually, I think, TP'd to that team fight when they were going on
late. Fenrir, yep. Here we go, Sumail straight in, Aoi's there with the backup, and that is a dead Lina. That is a mega kill streak now for Aoi here on the Bounty Hunter. Yet another track kill. And this is the problem when you're playing against the Bounty. Money, money, money. Going to the opposition. Loads of money. Here we go, Hao and Super. BAM! There was an Undying there. He's not there anymore. He's in a different universe. 8 for 4. VG do find a kill in return. Now off the back of it, they'll just take down the tombstone here. Maybe trying to get a bit of a push on. And this is big for Hao. I mean, at the moment, he's got a Perseverance. He has got 1,600 gold on top of it as well. So he's going to have a relatively good timing here on the battlefield.
It's going to be alright. He'll probably have it like 15, 16 minutes. The nice thing is he's bought the Claymore, so we can just finish it at the side chop. He doesn't have to abuse the courier anymore. He just sends it out one time, and then he's good to go. But you can see, like, even now, like, VG are finally starting to pressure this off-lane tier 1. But the TP reaction coming in from EG can always be there. Like, that's the one strength that having a Storm on your team gives you at this time, is we have Bounty, we have Storm. If we see a team fight that we can take, we are going to take it. And here come FY and Fenrir.
If they find Sumail here, he's in a lot of trouble. They've got a finger at these. Straight up finger there to the Storm. He goes down. Fenrir and FY, there's a reason why they're respected as a support combo, going straight into top lane. There's a bit of a push going on as well from VG. Fortification has come out from EG. Now moving forward there as well. Ice on the sidelines, but he's trapped up. Fear's actually smoked here. Maybe seeing if they can turn this around, but VG aren't going to go in any deeper. Aoi moving close into Ice. He's getting the trap back out, Fear. Still just smoked up here from the sidelines. This is a very active gyro here. I mean, 14 minutes just moving around the map, looking for kills, looking for action. Super's coming in as well. Universe moving forward, and here we go with the Flesh Golem. Now he's popping down the tombstone. Caught out. Very nice spot with the ice. Oh, the snowball. Dodges it all now with the ice shards. Snowball onto Fear. Universe trying to keep himself alive with the decay, but he's going to go down. Fear trying to turn this one around. The damage is in now. Super getting low. Super's going to fall, but Fear falls as well. Ice is going to lift the jaw. The zombies going for Aoi. Will clean it up. Unstoppable kill streak now for the Bounty Hunter. 3 heroes for 2, but again, this is a trade where track gold is going the way of EG, and we can see it just here. Gold change 1,583, just 336 for VG, even though they got 2 kills and they were able to kill the Fear Gyro.
That was a 1,300 gold gain for Aoi. 1,300 gold from just killing those heroes. That is completely insane. Even with Ice dodging the call down, they still didn't manage to walk away from that a win. When you make plays like that, you can't win. Here we go.
Straight in on Fenrir. Oh my goodness. Wicked sick for Aoi 2000. 7 kills, 3 assists, hasn't died at all. He has a higher net worth than the Super Leshrac at this point. In fact, he's second on the board. He's higher than Hao.
Bounty Hunter, man. What a hero.
There's a reason why we're seeing it first banned out in a lot of games in the group stages so far. And
I really think the support pairing is why this is so rough for VG. Like, yeah, when FY gets 7 or level 6, he finally makes something happen. Like, they got that deep ward in the jungle that ended up getting Sumail killed. EG have since counter-warded that, but when that kill happened, sure, that's nice. But up until that point, FY, he wasn't really able to do much of anything. Like, he just walked around a lot. Fenrir, they weren't able to kill the gyro even one time in the bottom lane. it just seems like the lanes at the very least were so easy for EG to execute. Like, there was no pressure on them at all, anywhere. I mean, for crying out loud, Universe had 45 CS at, like, 9 minutes into the game.
Oh, Ice. He's walking down it. There's 3 heroes on the side of EG, and they're ready to go. This could be potentially another kill here for Aoi with the Shurikens, the skill shot. There's going to be a snowball coming out. He's trying to turn this, but he has got backup coming in, but it seems too far away. Snowball going on onto Aoi, but Aoi's just going to turn around and give it the schlack. Monster kill streak for Bounty Hunter. When will it stop? This man's got a solo crest 16 minutes in. This is getting ridiculous, and the Bounty Hunter getting out of control.
I don't know what to say. This is like the most farm bounty I think I've seen so far here at TI this early on. Has anyone actually had more farm than this? We'll have to get on it.
I don't think we've seen a bounty this effective, no.
Like, this is insane.
I mean, normally we see a bounty kind of hinder the opposition. This is just a bounty, just benefiting himself and transitioning into a crazy core. He's still level with this anti-mage. I mean, AM, let's have a look. Did he get the Battle Fury picked up now?
Yeah.
Okay, he's got the Battle Fury treads, so we should start to see him break away a little bit, but he's got a lot of work. Hao's got a lot of carrying to do if he wants to bring himself back on top of what EG have achieved so far in the first 17 minutes of this game.
All EG really have to do at this point is just continue pressuring. The thing about AM is even if you get a Battle Fury, okay, that's like the Naga Siren just picking up a freshly purchased Radiance. It still takes another like 10 to 15 minutes before you can do anything, and I don't think EG want to give him that much time.
EG, if they can take control of this Ancient stack as well, this is going to really hurt for VG. They're going to spot it out now. The stack is there. Fear's ready to take it. Tombstone dropped as well. The zombies will tank up these Ancients, and EG will be able to claim this. Nothing that VG can do to stop it, and this is huge.
Yeah, this is not great for VG right now. They really need to just wait out Hao getting some farm. At the very least, I think he's actually just going straight for the Vlads right now. So he wants to play the solo game. He's looked at Sumail's inventory and seen that he's going Bloodstone, maybe feels safe. Could just go for the Vlads and then play it like greedy, try to go for Manta after the fact. If he was making Orchid, he pretty much has to go Manta.
Oh, Sumail, look at that zip in! Oh, he's pretty much global, straight onto F1, 1-2 Bammer, he's got the Stir, he's got the Hex, behind him some type of this is a burn slow, onto the Lion, he's lying down for the long one, 33 seconds off the map. Another kill here for Sumail, and he's going to be happy with that, of course, with the recently picked up Bloodstone, so a charge already on top. TP into the top tower coming from PPD. Now he's going to simply blink himself away. No one else here, but PPD going to soak up this solo lane at XP and work his way up. Fear, well, he's got none. He's straight in the mid lane, right up there. He's got the backup of Aoi, no reason to do so. Universe and Sumail turning up as well. Sumail, he's got an Invis rune. Let's watch this storm, because I think we're about to see him zip past a tier 2, a tier 3, and probably into another game. Looking at the ballsiness this guy's gone out so far. Ice on the bottom, trying to find his way towards what I'd imagine to be that Blink Dagger. Universe and Aoi scouting it. Super comes anywhere closer. Sumail's going to be straight in there. He's just eyeing it up. I think Super knows this. They're keeping themselves right back at the base. They've seen how Sumail could get himself in and out with the pickoffs. They don't want it to happen again. Universe as well. He's continuing to look incredibly strong. Level 10 at the moment. Finding the items. Ice just making the movements around. Trying to get a bit more control here of EG's jungle here with the warding here from VG.
You can see, like, EG's positioning on the map. They are not scared at all. Like, VG are going to...
They can get a kill here. He's going to get the tombstone down. Can they burst him down in time? No! The mech comes out, the finger brings him low, brings him down. They get the kill now. EG coming in with the cooldown. Ice has already TP'd himself the hell out of there. Said, mate, you're on your own. Lion's going to get taken down. They do find the kill in return. And that, of course, is going to go the way of Sumail. Yet another kill and another charge on his Bloodstone.
If we're talking in terms of like net worth and gold exchange, or net worth and experience exchange, it was still better for VG, because they ended up killing a better impact hero, like in the Undying so far, and honestly, I'm not really sure what else they can do at this point. Like, they're waiting for Hao to get his items, so they're looking for small engagements to where they don't want to commit to like a 4v5 or like a 4v4 or anything like that, because they know that they just can't contest. So they have to go for like these little small plays and force reactions, take a little bit of pressure off Hao so he can continue farming up. And the Vlad's is now done. So his farm rate, yeah, he's going to get much more farm out of this. He'll always be at a high threshold of HP, so ganking him is going to become a little bit harder. And if for whatever reason VG managed to take a fight with that Vlad's, they can also secure Roshan, which is pretty important.
Obviously, one of the bad things for Hao is the fact that he doesn't have that Ancient stack to go back to. Regardless, they're still looking pretty good here on the Anti-Mage. It's all just about the rest of VG creating the time and space for him to continue on his quest to become a monster. Blink Dagger has now been completed here from Ice. Top lane Aoi, level 11, 1900 gold here on top of the Solar Crest.
Oh, Hao.
Oh, indeed, going straight into PPD. Sumail turning. They're going to use the Winter's Curse here as well. They don't want Hao getting away from this one, and he certainly won't. Killing spree picked up here by Sumail. 4 kills, 6 assists. Only died the once this game. And how many charges we're seeing on the Bloodstone? I think it was 11 charges now on the Storm's Bloodstone. 20 minutes in.
I find it a bit odd that Hao actually stuck around, because Aoi came out of Invis, right? Like, he came out, he started hitting some creeps, he was CSing, and then he just like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna go farm the creep wave after I see the bounty hunter here. I think maybe playing it a little bit too greedy right there, but I kind of understand the idea that if you're really far behind, you need to take a couple of risks to be able to get yourself back into the game. And I think that Vici are pretty much at that point. Sure, their 2 cores are still farming very well, but their supports are broke. Like, they are just dirt poor at this point. Like, FY and Fenrir, they are absolutely struggling to get anything done here. And even FY, it's 22 minutes in. He still doesn't have his blink yet, although he is close.
Well, they have got a sentry here, so Aoi needs to be careful. If he comes underneath it again, Ice is going to probably go in, and here he goes straight away. He's just outside it. He's got the dust, though. They're looking for Aoi. They've had enough of this pesky critter, bringing him low. They'll bring him down. They will end his monster kill streak. The money they're going towards Tusk. FY simply TP's out. Ice getting out as well. Sumail goes straight for the kill, though. Gets the kill onto the Lina, onto the Fenrir. And he's looking for more Super, looking for the TP. Oh! Haven't quite been able to get off the electric vortex.
I think he was like mid-vortex animation when that TP went off. That was insanely close.
Top lane. Well, Fierce found himself a Super. He's going to try and 1v1 this. 1v1 me. Can Super turn this around? He's a Leshrac. He's going to try his best, and he's going to just commit suicide. It's too much. He doesn't want to try up against Fear. And indeed, with a missile coming in as well, may have just won that duel. Hao looking for the cleanup crew here. Fear with the TP out in the sideline, and he's going to make it. Hao looking for the prediction, but gets it just a little bit off the mark as Fear's able to escape.
That was really nice awareness, though, from Fear to not take that particular pathing. They did have a ward, though, so it probably scouted him walking up that way, and then he just decided that it wasn't worth the risk of like getting blink mana voided and giving away a kill. So the side strafe TP proving to be pretty strong here. You're going to get some nice aggressive warding coming out from Vici Gaming at this point. I think being able to do something like Sneak a Rouge might be something that Vici are going to go for. Again, they have that Vlad's, and Hao, you are ballsy, my friend.
Indeed, he takes himself some H's, gets himself out. Very nice, so it's just making the movements now together with the backup. Super Sumail, he's the target. Can they change them? Yes, again with the light track where the goal. Laguna Bay brings them low, and they will bring him down. Sumail gets taken out. Super gets the gold there. And that's a big pick off there for the side, especially against the Storm Spirit, who is closing in on his Orchid.
Yeah, this is the timing when the supports of Vici actually start to come online. So we saw, like, using a Finger, using a Laguna Blade, that is enough damage to secure a kill. It's just during the early game, EG were able to bully lane so much based on the fact that their early game laning phase is just that much better. But now, it's at a stage where Blink is up on this Lion, so if FY sees an opportunity, they can definitely jump. And speaking of,
going in the mid lane, onto nobody.
Ice is too quick.
He's too quick indeed.
He didn't even have vision of that. He just blinked away based on reaction. That's pretty insane.
Top lane, Fear, applying the pressure into this tier 1. He's almost certainly going to find it. FY, he's been chilling in the trees for a while there. On the left, he's having a grand old time. He's playing very sneaky.
He was waiting for a potential counter game. Like, if somebody is in Lesh, TP's up there, or even like multiple heroes, and you just blink Hex, you know you can actually get that kill.
Wow, yeah, blink out of the pit. Going for the Ancients here, though. Can EG catch him out? PPD does have the Winter's Curse available, moving in. Oh, went in with the Arctic Burn, but Hao, yeah, doesn't want a piece of that at all.
They'll just steal the Ancients. No big deal. Get a little bit of extra gold going for themselves.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, in fact, let's have a look at the graph. What's the kind of difference looking like between these two teams? It's around 5k, okay, in terms of difference for EG in terms of net worth. XP, a little bit less, but of course that 5k difference pretty much all down to the fact this bounty is getting off a hell of a lot of tracks.
Yeah, but it's been a while since EG have taken a really big engagement. I think the last one we saw was around middle lane, when there were multiple track kills that were had from EG. And the more that Vici are able to slow the pace of the game down, even if they're only killing like one hero and then running away, that's fine, because then EG are much more hesitant to continue to pressure, and all they need to do is to get AM, like a Mantha style finished, and maybe one other item, like whether it be like Abyssal Blade or BKB, whatever Hao decides that he needs for the situation.
Wow, he's on his own here. They do have the tower, so TP reaction might be able to come in, but will it be soon enough? Hao getting gone on Sumail, and he's going down, and he'll go. Bounty onto there, picking up the kill. That's a track kill and a half there for the side of EG, and they'll be able to get some pressure here on this top tower. The rest of EG, though, they're looking to take it out themselves. ISO moving forward here, clearing out the creep wave with the backup of Super. And Fear, he's out of there, so we may just see a simple tier 2 for tier 2 trade between the bottom and the top lane. TP coming back already from PPD. Question is, can they defend this one? No, it's already gone. The tower's already gone. The TP's coming out. Super. That's going to turn around for the stunner onto Audi. This might cost him his luck because Sumail finished off the Orchid for the hex there from F1 and then the finger. They'll take down the Bounty now with the snowball onto Sumail. Laguna Blade well, but the Winter's Curse on Dice. Sumail going to go straight for FY. Moving forward, bringing in the line with the punch. FY, who will fall. BBD and Universe trying to work themselves together to find Super. Sumail's going to get himself the hell out of there. He's incredibly low. Will manage to escape. The Universe looks to fight Super with the Flesh Column here. Fear moving in. Triple kill for Fear. Team White, VG all hit the deck. EG only lose the Bounty Hunter. What a reaction there from EG, and thanks to the track, look at the difference coming out. We're seeing a 2K, which isn't massive for a 5-for-1, but still with the XP as well. 23-11. You were saying how EG hadn't won a big engagement in a while. There's your big engagement.
I think that Vici just saw an opportunity to jump in and we're like, okay, we killed the bounty hunter. This is a fight that we can actually start taking. Because the first thing that happened is Aoi dies. That means no track. So Vici are probably feeling much more comfortable in saying, okay, we'll make a full commitment. We have everything at our disposal except for Hao, who obviously died top prior to that team fight even starting. But, I mean, PPD, he was on point with his Winner's Curse. As soon as Eyesight Sights went in on Sumail, he had the curse before the punch even was used. So instead of being able to take out Sumail very early on in that fight, he ends up living. He gets a regen rune in his bottle that he had from earlier and pops it, and then the rest of EG just come in and clean up the fight. It was maybe the best case scenario, I think, for EG, only losing one there.
Now, they do have the Helm, of course, on the Gyros. They've got the lifesteal to go for Roshan. Still, it's not going to be as quick as a VG attempt with the Anti-Mage. They're going to try for it nonetheless. They do have the Solar Crest, of course, on Aoi. That's going to help out a huge amount. Nice shots coming in. So VG, they know something fishy's going on. They don't really have the potential to go straight for it, though. We look at the team that's kind of spread out around the Dire jungle. So it looks like they're just going to let EG have a free age, you see.
I'm not sure what they're going to do to stop it. That's really the problem. It's not like Vici have any crazy wombo combos or anything like that. They have a Blink Initiation with their Lion on FY, but that's not really like having a Blink Echo or like anything teamfight oriented, really. It's just like, okay, we can jump a hero and go for a pick. We can't turn a Roshan fight with a good Impale, unless for some reason you hit like 3 or 4 heroes, which is very hard to do. So, like you mentioned, free Roshan for EG. Storm obviously being one of the better Aegis carriers in Dota means you can pretty much go as ham as you like. As long as you get your man, when you respawn, you can just use all your mana to get out if you need to. And during this time, Hao, he's almost to his Manta now. So even though his farm had been kind of stunted in the laning phase, and he's died twice, he's managed to recover a decent amount. And Vici are up here, definitely babysitting him right now, just making sure that he doesn't die.
Yeah, Fear coming in just to clear this one out. Won't be able to deny the tower here, as well as Vici have backed themselves off getting that deny, but still, with the even with the reduced tower goal, probably putting Hao very close to that ultimate orb here. NTJ, he's very close to picking up that final component of the Manta Star. And actually, that's going to get to a point now where suddenly, you know, the Storm's going to have trouble solo killing him with the Orchid. It's not going to do too much. And we may even see Hao try and turn up to a few more fights, or is the play still just to keep farming, let the rest of your team deal with the aggression of EG, and wait until you get some more items online?
He might want another item on top of the Manta. Like, sure, he's capable of fighting now. Like, with the Manta being done, he definitely can contribute to a fight. He's got level 3 Mana Void, Manta, Battle Fury, Vlad's. That's more than he needs, but I still feel like the strength of AM is not really the team fight as much as it is just ensuring that you can stay ahead of the enemy carry, even in a situation where your laning phase doesn't go ideally for you. So if Hao wants to keep farming, that's fine. I honestly feel like Vici have kind of stagnated the game in such a way that even if the AM continues farming at this rate and the Storm continues farming at that rate, I think that the AM actually outscales because of what items the Storm has to go in this matchup. Like, for instance, I think Aoi is actually buying Linken's for him. Yeah, he's got Ultimate Orb on right now, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just put Linken's on Aoi for later on in the game when Mana Void starts becoming a real issue. But normally the Storm has to alter his item build to match the AM. And he's really, outside of Fear, the only physical damage dealer and the hero that can jump on him.
Hao here in the sidelines, pushing the lane with the illusions. EG is there with a wraparound. FY just outside of their vision. FY simply just going to blink and TP himself out of this one, as well. Hao getting himself away from the lane. Creeps are already being cut here, though, by Sumail, trying to clear this lane back up so the momentum favours the side of EG on the top lane. And now maybe looking for a wraparound towards the mid, as a couple of heroes have revealed themselves here, both Fenrir and Ice. But again, Fenrir TPing away. Is he going to be able to get out in time? Yes, he will. The TP is successful. Sumail unable to get that Vortex onto him.
That was barely in time. Like, even like a half of a second or maybe even a quarter of a second later, and that would have been a very deadly enough. But fortunately for Vici, they get away scot-free. No real issue there. I'm wondering if EG are going to be able to force it hard enough to make Vici fight. Because right now, Sumail has haste and bottle, and he's got half the duration on his TV left. For now, it seems like Vici are content just to try to split up the map a little bit, prevent EG from getting their 5-man together.
I was going to say, at this point, again, VG have been incredibly elusive. EG have been looking all over for them, but every time VG's just one step ahead with the movements away. Sumail, this DD doing a bit of a push onto this tier 2, has the backup as well, and it looks like EG should be able to take this one. Fortification is going to come out from VG, but they're sticking to the high ground. How at the moment looking to pressure this bottom lane, going for that split push. And EG here with a full 5-man, ready to go for the tier 2. Maybe they want to try and force the anti-mage back and look to push on. But the Illusion's already heading up to the tower here. They've got to be very aware of the pushing power of HAL, as it's certainly getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on.
Breaking high ground is going to be the real test here for EG. They could just wait until Fear has like that critical mass point where he has like Butterfly and Satanic, and then maybe he gets a MKB depending on how items progress on anti-mage, but for now, I think EG are okay with the fact that they're controlling the map and that Vici are kind of avoiding them to a degree. As long as they don't lose like a tier 3, I think they're going to be fine with it. Like they have a tier 2 or even a tier 1, I guess, in middle lane. And top and bottom they still have their tier 3s. When the tier 3s start dropping because of HAL's rat, that's going to start becoming an issue because then you have to send heroes back to deal with it. And Vici do have very solid chase potential. Like having a Blink Dagger on FY, can also see a smoke here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to catch out Aoi. Oh, there's a gem on Ice Ice Ice. Yeah, they can see him.
He needs to be careful and straight in onto Aoi, the gem. Doing a lot there for the side of VG, and that's a pick-off and a half there for Lina. Sumail is clearing up this camp, but VG, these are the pick-offs that they want to try and be finding, because this is quite easily going to bring them back into the game. The fact that HAL, he's at level with the amount of farm that Sumail has got in terms of net worth. Even more of it, so yeah, indeed, but that tower pushes him on top. This anti-mage is getting very scary. HAL is going to be a real issue for the side of EG, unless they're able to do something about it pretty soon.
Oh, by the way, the Bounty Hunter is actually making Hex, not Linken's. He just bought the ultimate ult first. And Hex is amazing against these heroes, actually. Like, being able to Hex one of the supports or being able to Hex HAL, just to get that burst out and then follow it up with like a Vortex or like a Winter's Curse, for example. It's a really nice combo to have. And the other thing, too, is it's probably going to end up catching them off guard because he pulled a lot of money before he started buying anything. Like, he's only 420 away, I think, from being able to actually pick up the entire thing.
Fear's got his completed Butterfly now ready for the next fight. Of course, no one on the side of VG, any signs of an MKB. HAL was saving up his money here on the anti-mage. Has he invested it in anything as of yet? No, still sitting on 3.9k gold. He's obviously got a few options to go for. I mean, if he does see the Butterfly on Fear, does he think about getting the MKB at this point, or does he need to go for something like the Heart or the Butterfly first himself?
I'm not sure if you want to go MKB if you're HAL. I don't think he wants to fight yet.
No.
Like, the way that he's been playing this game, it says to me that he doesn't want to take any engagements unless they're fighting, like, at a tier 3 on their own towers. And that's when HAL wants to go back. If that's the case, things like Butterfly and Heart are obviously good choices. Butterfly helps you push a bit faster. And I don't think the Storm would be able to solo kill him if he had a Butterfly. Like, the evasion increases effective HP so much against physical damage that AM already...
Wow,
here we go.
Oh, Ice coming in with a shot. Oh, the aerial finger there coming out from Lion.
There was a Bounty Hunter there a second ago.
Indeed, this is the problems with this Bounty Hunter at this point, especially once they've got a gem. If you're going out alone, VG is just going to be able to jump in and get the pick off every time. And suddenly the early game, of Aoi on that Bounty, the amount that he was doing for the team, slowly slipping away as VG. I mean, if you look at the graphs now, it's got to start to have kind of turned around. It's turning around a little bit, but it is certainly starting to shift back away from EG and towards VG's half of the graph. But still a long way to go. It is still EG with that lead, but they've got to be careful because it's slowly slipping away from them.
Yeah, I think the more that the game becomes like this and more passive, the harder it's going to be for EG to really go high ground and break the base. And the longer it gets delayed, I think the AM probably has a tiny advantage just in terms of he has multiple venues of play, whereas the Gyrocopter and the Storm, they pretty much just want to fight. Like, sure, you can rat with the Storm, but it's not really that good. AM does much more damage to the base, so when he rats, it's just effective in that sense. HAL a bit indecisive about when he wanted to buy earlier. I think he actually bought a BKB, sold it, and then bought it again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, he sold it as in, maybe he was asking his team what he felt he should buy, and then they said, okay, yeah, just get BKB, because we want to fight. They could be just preparing for the next Rosh. It is going to be up anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. So having BKB for that particular fight gives him the kind of power boost that he's going to need at this stage in the game to secure Vici Rosh. Because if EG get it again, it's going to be really hard to stop that high ground push.
Both teams at the moment pretty much moving around as a collective. Howie, I think he's kind of learned from his mistakes. He's sticking with the boys now. Doesn't want to go off alone. VG just moving around the map with How, ensuring that he can keep himself at the top of the net worth. Indeed, 19,000 at the moment on your anti-mage. Really breaking himself forward. There's a bit of a smoke up here from the side of EG, looking to bait with Fear, pushing this bottom tier 2. But VG, they're not falling for it. They're here on the top lane and the middle lane, pressuring these lanes in. And I mean, EG, they're going to have to come back and defend this, and the TPs are indeed starting to come out. They should be able to get themselves this tier 2. I don't know if they can continue to press that lane to force VG back. I think it's going to have to be EG reacting, because How already onto the tier 3 here on the top lane with the illusions, bringing it down to half. And EG, they certainly need to do something about this action that VG is pulling off.
VG walk away the victors there, hands down. Getting damage on the tier 3s is so important for anti-mage. When those towers go down, you start dealing guaranteed damage to range racks as soon as you see an opportunity to start going in for a rat. And I don't think EG actually pushed fast enough to really deal with that at this point. So the dynamic of the game kind of changed to where How is the one who's going to start forcing EG around based on where he is, and they will find a pickoff here on top lane.
Again, Howie just coming out on his own, and Ice is ready with the gang. Another pickoff onto the bounty hunter. I mean, he went from, I believe it was 804 now to 954. Howie's being picked off quite a lot here, which isn't great, especially seeing as how well he was doing initially, giving away a lot to VG.
It's just the Blink Daggers and the Glimmer Cape. Like, the form of initiation that VG have right now, you can't really ever be by yourself, even if you have Invis. I mean, of course, Ice has that gem, and he's had it for a while, but it's more just about the fact that if you have that many Blinks and forms of initiation with Invis, you're not really going to be able to sit and farm, no matter where you are. Like, you kind of have to be together. And that's what VG want EG to do, right? Like, they want you to group up, so you start moving out on other lanes. Like, if How wants to push one lane and then you say super somewhere else, you're looking at a really good rack game for yourself, and I think that's what VG's game plan is.
I mean, Fear, he's starting to get more and more farmed. You know, he's still just 2,000 behind this Battle Fury AM, which is, you know, pretty impressive here for this Gyrocopter. Obviously, the amount of Ancients that he's been able to get as well has helped out. With the Demon Edge now on top of the Battle Fury, on top of the Butterfly.
Yeah, but the main difference in gold is how much has Fear gotten from track, and just the fact that they've killed all the outer tier towers up until this point. I mean, I guess Feature are only, what, one tower behind? So it's not really too much from that. It's mostly just because Fear has been contributing in terms of every single time they fight. Fear has been teleporting, like even top lane when they were defending tier 1. But track gold equalizes the fact that AM actually has 150 more CS than the Gyro.
It's an impressive amount of farm that How's got at this 38-minute mark. Now he's confident enough to take it from the Radiant jungle. Roshan is back up. Now this potentially is going to be where we see the next big fight kick off. How's got a Basher. Shiva's guard now on Super
His
as well.
Basher was in base though. He needs a courier back. I think that EG just forced this right away.
They're going to start going for the Roshan here. They're taking it pretty quick with the amount of damage that Fear's got with Aui's Solar Crest. But VG no. They're almost certainly going to look to jump in on this one. The question is, when do they kick it off? EG ready for the defense, though they do have the Winter's Curse being available. PPD going up to the high ground. It's not going to run him any vision. No Super there on the low, moving in. He's been out jumping straight in with the illusions. Looking for Universe. There's your Winter's Curse, but it's on an illusion. EG Fear has managed to fight two though. They Fear's doing too much damage with the BKB as well. They can't kill him. Sumail will bring down Super. FY is only left there with How. How's already out of there. FY is looking to TP out. And VG, they try to fight, but it just doesn't work out. How just says, screw that, I'm going to go for the push. EG said, no, we're not having any of that. There's two heroes down to the bottom lane already, but what a fight there for EG. Not losing anything, even with the slight, we won't talk about it too much, but the Winter's Curse Blender.
Well, the Winter's Curse thing didn't even really matter.
It didn't. Well, that's the thing.
The thing is, you need to make sure that AM's not just hitting you straight away. So what you do is you just throw out the curse, and even the illusions are pretty tanky. So as long as he's not just hitting you in the face with Winter Wyvern, you're like, okay, that's good enough for me. I'm living through the team fight. I still got Cold Embrace. Ice died before he got to do anything. Like, he just exploded. I don't even think he used Ice Shards or anything. Like, he just died.
Just Fear, the amount of damage he was able to get off in that fight was just insane. The flat cannon hits hitting everywhere. VG, they were just dropping and they couldn't do anything about it. And now EG, confident enough to start getting this push on as well. Sumail, he's fine with the Lincolns on turn. Now going forward here, into the cooldown though. Now Sumail going back, but the Mantis not there from now. Ice the initiation, trying to get Sumail, but Sumail the man body's huge show from How, blowing up two. Has also dropped Sumail once. How looking towards Universe here on the Undying. We're about to bring it down. Yes, that's a triple kill for How. Sumail gets the BKB off it, and he's got to get himself out. Oh, right back to the radiance of the map, and back to base for you as well, Sonny Jim.
Did they not see the gem? There's a gem sitting outside the base right now. Okay, there's the...
Yeah, they're heading back for that. But what a mana void. I mean, you've got to be careful when that man blows you up like that, because how?
His Linken's was down, so...
Damn!
Like, Sumail, like, went in, and maybe he thought his Linken's was still off cooldown. I'm not sure. How's going to spot out PD here. I'm not sure if he can get that kill. Probably just cuts the creep wave, and he's fine with it.
How's ready to go. I mean, look at him blinking straight up. Hits the tier 3 with a help from Super.
He has full Abyssal Blade.
This is go time. 40 seconds still with Fear on the sidelines.
He has full Abyssal if he sends it to the side shot. He might be saving for buyback, though.
He's going to be talking about buybacks. Buyback from Universe. PPD and Sumail on the defensive. But now, here with the Snowball going straight to Smash. Sumail will zip himself away. It's going to be okay for the time being. Now trying to turn around, but Ice gets the blink out. Splinter Blast just going to connect onto Super. Just want to buy this time. Still 18 seconds till Fear's back. VG do seem like they're going to back up for the time being. Not looking to pressure anymore. Happy with the bit of action they've found there over the last few minutes. And back to just controlling the map and clearing EG out of their own jungle.
It's looking a little bit shaky right now here from EG. I mean, that was an Aegis push. That potentially could have been Rax, depending on how the execution went. I think we're starting to get to that stage where Heroes of the Bounty Hunter and even the Undying really just aren't doing a whole lot. And it's just because of the way the heroes function, right? Like, if the Bounty Hunter is in the mid-game, and he's getting a lot of track kills for his team because Sumail or, like, Fear doing a ton of damage and they're getting picks, then he's doing his job. But now, it's a lot harder to get that information because he has that gem up on the Tusk, or... Actually, yeah, they got it back. Alright, so they have the gem back on Tusk. And every single time he shows himself, he's pretty much just a target. He's only got 1100 health. That's easy for Vici to burst at this point. So it's very hard for Aoi to do his job. And because of that, it's a lot harder for EG to actually find the initiations that they want. And that's why the way that Vici have been playing it out, just by splitting up the map and only defending when it's necessary, has been working so well.
Absolutely, 26 to 17, but if we have a look at the graphs, it's got to have gone more the way from V. Yeah, look at this. Slowly up and down, but now back to just a 3,000 difference in terms of net worth. And I've got it. This is VG dealing very nicely with a mid-game that was made a little bit harder for them because of the track goal from Bounty. Suddenly, they're just bringing it around anyway, finding the big pickoffs, finding the big fights. And it certainly seems like EG are struggling a little bit more than they were at the beginning.
It's just a matter of... They kind of need to end the game. I really feel... Again, we talked about Sumail's item progression and the way that he has to build his hero against an AM. He's got BKB Bloodstone Linkens. Not a single one of those items actually deals damage. The only person on the team who does physical damage is Fear. So if Fear isn't the one who kills AM, then who kills AM at this point? Because an Orchid is not going to be enough. He's got BKB and Manta. And now he's got the full Abyssal completed on the Courier with about, I don't know, 200 away from buyback. So we'll farm this stack and he'll have it. But now it's kind of like the AM is the problem. And that's not even including Super, who's still got Shiva's Bloodstone, 2,400 gold, and a Glimmer Cape. Like, he's still been silently, like, doing his thing, getting CS where he needs to, buying space for Hao. And the same thing can be said for Fenrir and FY. Like, they've both just played the I'm going to stay off map all the time, idly pressure by having a Blink Dagger and making Aoi die, like, what, 4 times in a row?
Aoi's had a bit of a tougher time here towards the latter portion of the game. Just scouting out here on the top lane, but he's got to be careful with these jams. I believe it is FY on the line, holding the jam at the moment for the side of VG, yeah, indeed. So Aoi's got to be very careful where he walks. He is going to have the backup of VG, in fact, heading towards the Dire jungle as they make the movement up, and, well, he's going to spot out Hao here. Pings are coming out, Sumail's going to zip straight on it with the Hex as well. They're going to try, but the BKB has come out from Hao, and now jumping forward onto Sumail, but the Link Sphere is going to help him for the time being. The backers are real, they're coming out to Sumail. Tracks thrown down onto Hao. Hao now blinks himself away, aware that the rest of VG may be coming in to back up Sumail. Not potentially wanting to continue this fight, and VG will just disperse and disengage here.
It's a good call. If the BKB is running out, it's just too risky. Like, I feel like VG are in a position where if they just defend their base, like 1 or 2 more times, Hao will get so far ahead that it's just going to be too difficult to kill him. Like, right now, Sumail actually needs damage. You might go for Hex, because it does give you that end, so you're getting a little bit of damage from it. The regen is obviously nice, and having another disabled prevent BKB popping would be good. But I'm almost at a point where I'd say just get like a crit or something, because you just need to hit hard.
He certainly does at this point. He's still going to continue to farm his farm, still looking very, very impressive. Second on the board at the moment, keeping himself in tow with the gyro. Chucking it thrown out onto Ice here, spotted out here by the Bounty. FY and Hao are around in the neighbourhood as well. Aoi needs to be careful. Both teams, again, moving around as a full 5-man. We've got the full 10 heroes down here in the Radiant jungle. VG is just going to back it up, though, not wanting to get caught out. And EG moving, but VG have already done the dirty and got themselves out. They might be coming back for more here. 1 seconds. Here we go. How? The positioning, just juking around the jungle, and now Storm Spirit goes straight in onto Ice Slice for the Orchid as well. Can he blow the Ice Slice? Does he might just be able to? Yes, he'll be able to bring down the touch. Now PPD from the Sidelanders trying to do what he can. He's actually getting caught out here by How, who blows him straight away. That's PPD down. Universe trying to go back in with Fear. Fear's popped the BKB and he's trying to fight How. How Super getting low. Fear doing a lot of damage here, but look, more damage is being done by How. How getting low. They can Fear kill him? Yes, he can. Fear now takes down How. Super running around. How he's able to juke himself around the tree line. Sumail is out of mana, can't chase down F5. Super leave with the CP out, but it's not going to happen. Winter's Curse there from PPD. Fear finds himself a double kill. EG proving that they can still have what it takes to take these team fights. 4 heroes down on VG. EG just lose Universe.
Fear was pretty much alive that entire time, just wreaking havoc during the team fight. And the other thing, too, is How couldn't find the Mana Void. He couldn't find Sumail. Sumail was pretty much completely out of mana. If he Mana Voids there, while Sumail is standing in that little tree line by the small camp, he maybe kills like 3 heroes with it. But unfortunately, he couldn't just find the targeting. It was nighttime. I think he was being juked a little bit around the trees. And then at that point, Fear comes in. He's like, yo, I got a butterfly and you don't. So all of a sudden, that means that without MKB, How can't actually man-fight Fear. So AM needs to be the one to deal with the Storm, but he needs the supports to help deal with Fear, because in a right-click trade, the AM actually won't be able to kill Fear.
Worth noting as well, of course, in that last fight, PP did buy back there to try and help out. Came in with that Winter's Curse, which in the end wasn't necessary, but obviously the intention was right there to secure that fight for EG. So it was essentially a 4 for 2 with a buyback coming out from PPD. Off the back of it, though, they were confident enough to push down the mid, take out that middle tower, and of course force out a buyback from none other than How himself on the anti-mage.
Yeah, the buyback there is a little bit troublesome. I wonder what his next choice is for items. Alright, he's picking up the Demon Edge, so he realizes that he actually does need MKB. Either that, or it's going to be another Rapier.
I'd love to see a Rapier. We've seen the Rapier, I believe, just the once with Jackie Mao.
No, the Rapier was bought like 8 times on the first day.
But I mean on an anti-mage.
Oh yeah, on an anti-mage, yeah. I think that was the game where they were like ultra far behind, and he bought a Rapier to try to equalize the game and push out really, really far. But I think it's much more likely that he's just going to buy an MKB.
Oh yeah, I mean at this point, VG, they're still in a good place. Obviously not as good as they were a minute ago after the back of that fight. But nonetheless, the anti-mage is still incredibly scary. 25,000. Sumail, though, his farm and his pickoffs have enabled him to keep at the same level pretty much now as this How anti-mage, which in itself is pretty damn impressive. He's looking pretty stacked at the moment. 19 charges on his Bloodstone. And now a Satanic has been picked up by Fear as well. So this Gyro, I mean, we saw how much of an issue it was in that previous fight, but now it's going to be even harder for VG to take down the old man in the helicopter.
The targeting priority is going to be super important for VG. Right now it's 2,500 health, 24 armor on the Gyro, with Butterfly and no MKB in sight for VG Gaming. If How is able to get to MKB and he has Abyssal up, I think he probably goes on Fear. Because I'm not sure Sumail does enough damage to where How is feeling super scared of him. I think it's more just like, if we jump Fear and we kill him, and there's no flat cannon, like annihilating our supports, we might be able to just take the fight and deal with the Storm that way.
Yeah, as you said, yeah. It's all going to be about taking down Fear in these fights. Because at the moment, he's arguably the big damage dealer for the side of EG. Obviously, as a collective, the spells from everyone else, it's a lot. You know, they're locked down from the Winter's Curse, everything else, getting out the Tombstone and the decays throughout the fight. Still mean quite a bit here at 49 minutes in, but it's all about Fear here on this Gyrocopter. And now at the moment, EG in the Roche pit.
This is really bad. This is Cheese Roche.
And it's not going to be contested at all from VG. They're starting to move towards it, but damage is just too much, and EG should be able to get this long before VG are anywhere near the pit. Roshan will indeed fall. The Fear's got the slot there ready and waiting for that Aegis. He'll grab that one. It's going to be Universe here with the cheese to ensure that in these fights he does get off the mech and the boots and, of course, those decays.
It could just be saving it to trade to somebody as well.
It could, yeah.
It's very common.
Or top it up to Sumail, because Sumail at this point is, you know, he hasn't got any room for it. And if he can get the cheese onto Sumail, that's going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, like if Sumail goes in, gets a kill, and then comes back out, he can give him the cheese, he goes back up to full HP and mana, and then you can look to see another jump. So it's very likely that that could happen. And EG are going to be very happy with that. Not getting contested at all. I think maybe VG just... Maybe they mistimed it, or maybe they just didn't feel like they could fight. Who knows? Like after the last engagement, they could be feeling a bit gun-shy, because they did kind of get owned. So now, they're going to have to wait out the next 6 minutes or so and be like, alright, we need to regroup, figure out how we're going to take the next engagement, who our target priority is going to be. I'm looking at How and I'm thinking, you're going to have to get rid of that Battle Fury soon. Like, Battle Fury is not a late game carry item. I understand its importance and relevance when you're trying to push out lanes. If you want to actually kill that...
Man here with the zip zap straight up onto F5, but F5 with the Glimmer Cape. Not a lot that Sumail could do about that. F5 is going to get himself out. Aoi going forward with the Drax on Super. Now with the Hex as well. Sumail, he continues in, pulling Super back. Can they bring down the Super on the Electro? Getting over, he wants the BKB there to remove the silence. Will continue to run away. Cooldown gets thrown down by Fear. Won't catch on onto anyone. And Super's going to be able to get himself out, but only just.
Just barely. And for now, I think Vici will be happy that no one got picked. And sitting up on that cliff, I'm pretty sure that FY is going to have nightmares about storms flying at him now. But still a very tense game. Like, either team can really take this. It just depends on these fights and how.
He really wants to go for it. They tried to get in there with the Abyssal. Aoi will take this opportunity to get some of those tracks out here, so to make it just that little bit harder for VG to defend from the high ground. Because EG are going to know exactly what they're up to.
Okay, so I'm looking at Hao's inventory right now and I'm thinking, what does he possibly replace besides Battle Fury? And I'm thinking BKB is like... It's pretty mediocre for this game, right? Like, Winter's Curse goes through BKB. You can obviously still be tracked when you're magic immune. Call Down and Rocket Barrage aren't really the threat that they used to be. Does he need BKB? I mean, obviously it's the safety of being able to BKB with Abyssal Blade and go in, but... Oh, EG, sieging high ground now.
They're ready to go. Fear onto it. Gets still a bit by the Electric now. As moving in, Fear pops the BKB. Sumail straight onto FY. Bringing him down, bringing him low, but he's got the Glimmer Cape now. Moving himself away, going to be able to blink out as well. How going in onto Aoi. They've already brought down PPT here on the Wyvern. How trying to do what he can here. Sumail and Universe working his talent. They've got the side, they've got the Hex, but now he pulls the arms support and down the Snowball. The turnaround, the Malfoy. Triple kill for Hao. The base is defended. Fear the only one left side. Everything getting thrown out of the Gyrocopter. He'll fall as well. VG with the defense, and EG can't break the base.
The Mana Void, dude. You always got to be aware of the Mana Void. That did so much damage. He did almost double the damage of Super in that team fight. He did 6,000 damage almost to heroes, just because of Mana Void. He got a couple of auto attacks off, he gets put in the snowball by Ice Ice Ice, and then boom, everyone is dead. And unfortunately, Fear... Like, he walks forward, he's in the front line, he's like, okay, look, I got Satanic, I got my Aegis and BKB. It's pretty tough for them to kill him, but they just ignored him. They just walked to the back line, made sure that Sumail was out of mana, get one good Mana Void, the supports are dead. And I don't even think there was a curse there, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure PPD died before he even got the curse.
Certainly looks like it. Here we go, VG with the push, Hao Super. Sumail just doing what he can, zipping out from base, TP back straight away. Trying to stop this push, clear out the creeps, but they've got a couple of siege creeps here, and that's going to allow them to continue to break away at that mid-tier 3. Hao down at the bottom one. Buyback from PPD. Ready to defend, but already the tier 3 in the mid lane will fall. VG are able to claim that. But everyone back apart from Fear now. Buyback from Fear as well. He realizes he's going to be needed here for this defense. Lotus Orb's coming out from the side of VG. Allows him to run away. They're going on Hao, but Ice 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 with the Snowball protection. The cooldown dodge. Snowball straight out. Universe Super getting taken down here, but low by Fear. But Super the Glimmer Cape you're right. There's your Winter's Curse on the Hao. They kill Hao. Now they're turning attention to Ice Ice Ice. Ice 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 falls as well. Super to drop as well. 3 heroes done by Fear, bringing Fear low, but he can't quite kill him. Fear's to life by the Cold Embrace. Fear to fall. F5 the last one to try and get himself out. Aoi going up to the high ground. Trying to look for him. They will find him there with a vision granted by the Remnant, and now Sumail moving in. FY, the last remaining survivor, he's going to die as well. Hao actually buys back here just to defend the top lane of Rax. But what if, again, back and forth, both teams proving that they can confidently defend their base.
God, PPD and Ice Ice Ice, what players, man. Saving their respective carries at least for some time. He actually prevented Fear from dying in the first place. They had the Glimmer and the Cold Embrace combo that kept him alive. That Laguna brought him so low. It was painful how Fear didn't actually get dropped there. If they make him die back, I think even if they get like totally wiped off the map, like Vici would have been happy if they at least killed Fear. But they didn't even get that.
So close.
It's 20 seconds left on Ice 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 and 20 seconds left still on Fenrir. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to defend the set of Rex.
Yeah, they were going to... Well, the range Rex are ready to fall. The tombstone's been dropped by Universe. They're ready to sit here and go. Hao's got to be extra careful as well. He's also got the potential of dying back, as he did expend it also recently. And that's going to be the melee Rex done as well. So the first set of Rex in the game going in favor of EG there in the mid lane. And they'll just get themselves out as well here. No point in risking it, especially as you said, with the fact that Fear still 5 minutes left on that buyback status.
I'm pretty sure EG are thrilled with how that team fight went in middle lane. If that fight went like any worse, you could very easily have seen Vici like buying back, using bots to go back in middle lane, and it could have potentially just been a very all-in play. So that fight on high ground in EG's base was very close to just being the end of the game. All they had to do was get like one big kill onto Fear, and then even if they're forced back in that situation, that means they know the buyback's down, and that Fear's going to be dead for like 2 minutes. So you're looking at things like maybe going for a fake back, you smoke, you get one more pick, you could just end it. It was so close to Vici being able to take that, but EG, their coordination, PPD saving Fear, might have just saved them the game.
Andy, let's have a look at the graph, because I'm sure it'll be an absolute mess after those fight. Up and down, up and down. EG just about able to still hold on to that lead. 8,000 in terms of net worth, and the XPY is 12k. I mean, 55 minutes, certainly not the end of the world. We know that VG still have the potential to defend the base, but now a set of racks down in the mid lane. Obviously not the end of the world with a stacked AM. You're still going to be able to deal with those stronger creeps. No problem at all at 56 minutes in, but it's still a slight edge that EG are going to, as you say, very, very happy with at this point.
And that lane constantly pushing in makes it so, like, if Hao does get rid of his Battle Fury, it's going to make it a little bit annoying, because then you only have one hero who's really good at pushing out lanes, and that's super. I guess Linda can do it too, but for now, Hao's holding on to his Battle Fury, just continually farming up. He still can get Moon Shards, bots too, and then he can look to either get rid of his Battle Fury or his BKB if he feels like he can. The one thing, though, is Butterfly has become a lot worse of a choice now that Gyrocopter actually has MKB available. And the other thing, too, is they actually have Solar Crest, so... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure right now if Vici... They don't have buyback on Hao. He's still got it down for about 4 minutes. And then Lion can't buy back either. So this high ground push, if EG decide to do it, which right now I guess Fear's bottom, so he's got bots if he wants to teleport up there. I think he'll probably just deep-push top and then maybe come down and join his teammates.
And he's also, of course, holding that cheese as well, so he's going to be set for that next fight if he wishes to join it. But it looks like, you know, there was the potential of them pushing in, trying to force out, or getting Hao again during that buyback period, but it looks like, you know, Fear's not confident in risking his own buyback status for that, and wants to wait it out until he can be able to buy back Hao. Maybe now as he's off, forget it! Fear wants to go in, Winter Skirts onto Hao, he's getting low, will they be able to bring down the AM? Yes they will, that's a dieback on Hao, he's down for 2 minutes straight, now they turn their attention to Super trying to do what he can, he needs to kill Fear, can they? No! The cold embrace, Fear lives through it all, he gets healed up, he's A-OK, no, the Hex is there, Fly bringing him down, they'll kill Fear, both carries down for the count, Super's still alive, Ice moving with the stuff up and out, Sumail going forward, buybacks from Sumail and Universe to continue this fight. They're looking for Ice, looking for the TPM. Let's get it. No! He's going to go down as well. Buyback now from Super. For Sumail, he goes straight for the base, looking for more. Finding Fenrir, but he's going to get himself back. Fenrir and FY a little bit too much, but now Aui's here. He wants to go for it. Aui with the side onto FY. The right clicks, they bring him low, they bring him down. That's FY down. 3 heroes down on the side of VG without buyback. EG have only lost Fear. And off the back of that, they may well try to go for base. They've only got Super and the Lina ready to defend. EG, can they go for the push? I think they can, Andy.
I don't understand how Fear took so long to die.
Here we get Sumail straight in onto Fenrir. Where's your leader at now? He's got to go. Scepter buys him some time. Will it be enough? He gets the Laguna Blade off out onto Universe, but it doesn't matter. He's still full. Super trying to make his way back to base. Sumail looking for it. He's not going to dive that deep. Hasn't quite got the mana to do so, but forcing Super back to the base. Tier 3 on the bottom lane will go down imminently. They have got the fortification buying them some time, but there's still a good 20 seconds or so until Tuski's back, then a good 30 before the Anti-Mage and Lion are back on the pit. It is just down to this Leshrac, but I don't know how much he can do. Sumail is going to be able to find the set of racks here. Already the creeps pushing on to tier 4, and Fear's going to be back in 20 seconds, of course, with those bots ready to get himself right back into the action.
This game is completely insane. Like, the team fight at bottom lane, Fear lived for like 20 seconds. He didn't even get to use a Satanic. He didn't get the cheese. I think he got his BKB off, but they kept him alive so long, and Sumail dying with the Bloodstone heal actually made it so he almost was able to get out of that final disable coming out from, I think it was FY, and he would have been able to pop Fuser Satanic and then bring himself back into the game. But this is absolutely insane. Like, the support play from both of these teams is just phenomenal. All the saving going on between, like, Blink snowballing and Cold Embrace plus the Glimmer Cape, it's just wild. Like, this is probably one of the best games that I've seen so far in the TI5.
Absolutely, high octane coming out from both sides. Now, the interesting thing, of course, for the next fight, Fear will have his buyback available, and so will Hao. Just about a minute or so is the longest. Hao's waiting there for his buyback, and they're actually going for Roshan here at the moment, bringing it low. Will EG be able to get there in time to do anything? It doesn't look like, and this time VG should be able to claim Roche. EG they are about, but not the full 5-man. Fear moving close and moving in, but now he said, nope, we're going to leave that one. Aegis is going to go the way of Leshrac. They'll grab themselves the cheese as well.
Now this is huge for Vici. They absolutely needed that Roshan after EG just completely housed them in a teamfight bottom, only losing one hero and then going for another Rax. So at this point, having that Aegis, this could be the last hurrah for Vici to actually make something happen in a really big team fight. So now, How definitely needs to keep his Battle Fury because the lanes are just pushing in non-stop, and EG, they want to end it.
They do indeed. Their smoke's up, ready to go here in the mid lane. Is anyone going to come out of this? Now, Sumail's going to reveal himself. And Vici maybe thinking about moving in here. They need to be able to get that Abyssal Blade potential to Sumail if they want to kill him, but they've got to worry about Fear and the rest of the gang hanging around the corner. Ping's coming out to the top lane. EG maybe just looking to Mega at this point.
No more YOLO blinks, please, Hal. That blink bottom is pretty much what kicked off that whole fiasco for Vici, just Hal blinking in aggressively, maybe thinking that he was safe, when in reality that he wasn't.
And Vici actually moving out the base here, so EG can have a bit of a window here to move forward. Tombstones drop, tier 3 to drop as well here on the side of Vici and Fear, just waltzing into the high ground, ready to go. FY leading away with their hex, and they're going to catch out Fear, but it's a match Sumail with the BKB going straight in. Really nice slice, FY's there as well. Universe, he's not another big stunned up. Fear just get off the Satanic, but now with the Winter's Curse onto How getting go. Can they kill How? How gets it back? He's turning it around onto Fear. Mana Body as well, he's going to go down, potentially he's incredibly low. Cold Embrace doing a lot of work. Doesn't matter, Fear falls. They've both got buyback and they'll both use it. How and Fear, he's afraid they've lost Universe permanently on the side of EG. He's down for 70 seconds. Super is back. Yeah, Howie just juking it out through the sideline. He's got to be careful here. How's found PPT going to work, but PPT with the Arctic Burn will be able to flap his wings and fly the hell away. Blinking forward though, Howie's trying to chase this one. Ice and Ephemeral as well. PPT blinks again. They're looking for this Wyvern. Will they be able to find it? He's still hiding their tree line. Ice Shards is going to come outside. There we go. With the uppercut to PPT. PPT goes down. They get the Wyvern. And they do bring him down as well. And the racks remain intact.
Dude.
Howie gets himself
trouble. There are so many creeps. They've already lost one tier 4. They trade an Aegis. They trade an AM buyback for defending their last set of racks. Very high stress situation right now for Vici. The problem they're going to run into is they used a buyback. They used an Aegis, but all of their lanes are so pushed in, they're not going to be able to get them out far enough to really force anything out of EG. So even though they find a couple of big kills, they take down Fear, they take Universe, they take PPD, Howie has to sit in the enemy base for like a minute because he doesn't know how he's going to get out. Like, all that aside, it's still not enough. Like, they need to be able to push out the lanes.
It's going to be tricking out this, but 62 minutes as well. This is going into one of those longer games here, which we're seeing a fair few of here at the moment in the group stages of TI5. 42 to 31 at the moment. How ready to push. We're in a similar situation to what we were about 10 minutes ago. Both carriers on the pitch, but both without buyback available for a good 5 minutes or so. So a very risky point for both of these teams. And it looks like VG are going to want to try and go on the aggressive here. Getting that momentum going down the mid lane. Maybe looking to see if they can break the base of EG and look for a set of racks himself. But Sumail is trying to pick off the stragglers here. He's going to he just dips in and TP straight back out here. He's trying to get a bit of damage onto FY. And Super leading the charge here with the push. PPG's going to be back up in 12 seconds. And it's going to be very, very hard for VG to break the base with VG full roster back up. And they realise VG just backing up. I mean, what is the play now from VG? Do they just have to kind of wait for EG to go for it again? Or can VG afford to go out themselves and actively look for a fight?
It depends on how comfortable you're feeling. Like, most of the time when your carries don't have buyback at this stage in the game, it's considered very risky to try to go for any play like that. Like, you say, okay, we want to smoke up because maybe the enemy won't expect us to try to do this. But if you see the positioning of EG, they are all on top of each other. They are doing this as a precaution to make sure that if EG are trying to do some kind of crazy smoke play, that they will have everyone there ready and available to take the fight on that spot, because they realize that one fight can lose you the game at this point. Doesn't matter if you're ahead 2 set of racks. An AM with this many items, and a Leshrac who's this stacked, they will be able to kill your base if you lose your carries again without buyback.
Well, that's the thing. VG are going to smoke up. They're going to leave their base. Maybe looking for a potential wrap
EG have high ground though.
Moving in on to Sumail. Sumail, there we go. Ice blinking forward here. What can they do here? Ice has got the load, still going to buy him some time now with the snowball. Curling first onto Super. How? He's killing Super. No, Super's going to live just about. No to fall. Now Super falls on the side of VG. He's going to be the first character in this fight. Sumail moving on to Feveritt. They'll bring down Alina as well. Owie chasing down Ice on the side of this fight. Super does not have buyback. PPD and Fear coming into help out as well. There's Sumail zipping in. They'll find Ice. 3 heroes down on the side of VG. There is now the money and the ability for Super to buy back, but Ice decides he's out for the count for a good 75 seconds. Now here we go, straight on to FY. He's been silenced, got the ghost step to get himself. How? Trying to go in on Fear, but the cold embrace is there from PPD, keeping Fear alive. And then already Sumail, he's killed the Lion, and now Fear against Super. Super trying to do what he can. How? Looking for the right opportunity, blinking, and there it is. But it's hexed up straight away from Owie. Fear going for How getting low, trying to fight his way out. This one, the Malfoy for Fear. Will the
cheese. He's going to be okay. Super trying to do what he can. Aoi getting low here at the tree line. Aoi trying to get himself out of this one. Rosenway does up there. Aoi will fall. GG, well played. It is called. 4 heroes on the deck for BG. They lose Super ceremonially as well at the end of the game. And game 1 of EG versus BG going to the Americans.
Dear God, what a game. What a game. Unbelievable performance coming out of both teams. EG with a really strong start. We talked about their laning phase. It was incredibly potent. Their supports outside of Vici, FI and Fenrir really struggled to find anything for the first like 10-15 minutes. Once they started hitting level 6, some nice aggressive warding got them a handful of kills. Their smoke rotation